Good morning, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Assets and Infrastructure Committee meeting on Monday, the 9th of October 2023. I declare the meeting open at 7:10 p.m. I would like to acknowledge the Bidjigal people of the Eora Nation, who are the traditional custodians of all lands, water, sky in the Georges River area. I pay my respect to elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who live, work and meet on these lands. I don't believe there are any apologies. There's no request to join by audio link, visual audio link. Staff and public are reminded that this meeting is being recorded for minute-taking purposes and is also being webcast live on Council's website in accordance with Section 5 of Council's Code of Meeting Practice. This recording will be made available on Council's website. The order of business is shown in the agenda and has been made available. Staff and public are reminded this meeting is open. Doors to the meeting room are to be left open unless the meeting goes into a closed confidential session according to Section 14 of the Code of Meeting Practice. Only if the meeting moves into a closed confidential session will the public broadcasting of the meeting be suspended. Council's Code of Meeting Practice prohibits the electronic recording of meetings without the express permission of Council. Mobile phones must be turned to silent during the meeting. Do any councillors have any interest to declare? I believe we have one public speaker tonight. And I remind the speakers that they have a 3-minute time limit. The first sound you hear indicates that you have 60 seconds remaining, and at the second sound, please conclude your comments. Neil.
Through you, Chair, we have a submission from Teresa Cott to be read to the meeting, which I'll do now. It's in regard to the ASSA 31/23 report of the Floodplain Risk Management Committee meeting held 26 September 2023. Good evening. The minute record from the Floodplain Risk Management Committee meeting held in February 2023 was defective, and the webcast is best described as a shambles. At that meeting, neither the chairman nor the support staff made any effort to correct the use of the microphones by visitors in the Dragon Room. Furthermore, answers to members' questions were given as take on notice and contact after the meeting. None of those questions were recorded in the minutes or the webcast. It is unknown whether the promised replies were completed. Those promised answers have relevance to all committee members. Having reported the problem to the General Manager, the reply came from the Assets and Infrastructure Department section was denial. The excuse was that this is the way the minutes are recorded. That's a shortcoming for those minutes, the omission of those answers and information. As at September 26, 2023, meeting of the Floodplain Risk Management Committee, I spoke about the flaws and shortcomings in the minutes from the February meeting. The Chairman accepted the full minutes for voting without any amendments. The attendance at this meeting was noticeably absent. There were no committee members from Canterbury, Bankstown and Bayside Council, Sydney Water, SES and OEH. The community representative and 4 members from Georges River Council were present. There was no quorum for that meeting. Using the Code of Meeting Practice, the meeting should not have proceeded. The GM was required to establish why so many members were absent. The Chairman continued the meeting. There was no expectation by GRC for reasonable attendance. A substantial light supper was provided. The draft minutes of the September meeting uploaded onto the website do not have the attendance and absent lists as would be included. A ratepayer reading those minutes would deduce that no one attended that meeting, but motions were put and accepted. Whereto this evening, the minutes from the September and February minutes are not a true and accurate record of those meetings for reasons given above. If the Chairman and staff from GRC proceeded with the September meeting, that action does not validate the meetings and the motions. These minutes and the conduct of the meeting must be referred back to the GM to investigate the absence of the majority of committee members and the absence of a quorum under clause 5.8, 5.10 and 5.12 of the Code of Meeting Practice.
Thanks, Neil, and thanks to Ms. Cott. A call for a motion to adopt the minutes of the previous meeting. Seconder, please. All in favour? Against? Declare that carried. Committee reports. ASS 029-23, design and construction of Hurstville Oval sports lighting. Can I get a move, please? Any questions or comments on that report?
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions. So just understanding the upgrade of the lighting at Hurstville Oval, and it will help increase the potential content at this facility. And however, it's nice to have it. But on the other hand, I know Charles Prairie Reserve and the lights have been deemed end of life there and have been removed from the facility. So there is currently no lighting there. And if the funding for Hurstville Oval lighting is approved, is there funding available to fund the upgrade of the new complete set of lighting at Charles Prairie Reserve?
I might to respond.
Yes, so the additional funding that we've identified to complete the Hurstville Oval lighting, that funding source also has capacity for us to complete Charles Prairie lighting. So our intent is to complete both lighting projects.
Oh, good. Okay. Just another question while we're on Hurstville Oval. So with the view to trying to increase the content at Hurstville Oval and the history of this location as an athletic track, can you advise how the athletic facility at this location is the track located inside the velodrome perimeter? And does it cut across as the rectangular football field is where it's situated? Or is it fully outside of the perimeter? And also the athletics has not been listed in the description of sports for that oval on the business papers tonight. So is there a reason why it's not? Because I know in a few of the reports that we've had last year that it was recognised that it's actually also an athletic field. So.
Is that a question on the construction of the lights?
Well, it's all on the oval, it's all around the oval.
So
It's in the brief of the description of what's going to be used there, what facilities, what sports are going to operate there.
Yeah.
So
I
I
think
believe it is.
if we can take on notice the specifics of the location of the athletics facility, I believe it would be within the grass.
Yeah.
But the reason it hasn't been identified in the business papers tonight is that athletics has not been identified as a night capacity sport. So the utilisation of the sports being cycling within the velodrome, cricket, football and rugby league is based on the demand and request requirements for night utilisation for training and games.
Okay.
So no games, sorry, in terms of cricket, but there is capacity with 200 Lux to play both rugby league, rugby union and football, as in soccer.
Okay,
At the
but
facility.
I do believe that it should be added to the list because given, people, there are, opportunities for people to want to use the track at night. So, so if I would feel much better if we could list the athletics on there just to recognise that it's still an athletics track. So if we could include that in the business papers, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, it's still allocated and identified as an athletic facility within our sports and recreation and open space studies.
It's just I'd hate to think that those people are starting to feel like they're getting pushed out again. So, I know, probably not, but I think it's important that we reassure the community that it is, where it's available for them to use as a sport, as an athletics track. There you go.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you, Mr. Heath.
You're welcome.
ASS 030-23, report of the Georges River Local Traffic Advisory Committee held on 3rd of October. Move.
You didn't vote on it.
Oh, didn't we? I apologise. All in favour of ASS 029-23, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? None. Declare that carried. ASS 030-23 report of the Georgia River Local Traffic Committee Advisory meeting held on the 3rd of October 2023. A mover, please, Mr. Smerdley.
I'll second it.
Questions, comments? All in favour of that report?
Aye.
Against? Declare that carried. ASS 031-23 report of the Floodplain Risk Management Committee meeting held 26th of September 2023. There's an amendment to that, which will come up on the screen in a minute, reflecting a procedural error or inaccuracy in attendance and voting. Give you a moment or two to have a read of that. Any questions?
Yeah, I've got a question through the chair to the acting director. Ms. Cott in her submission mentioned that questions on notice were taken and the answers haven't been provided. So, or have they been provided? Because that concerns me if somebody's
Yeah.
asked a question and hasn't
It
been.
hasn't been
Yeah,
responded.
that's not right.
Yeah, I look, I don't know myself, but I'll certainly find out tomorrow. Yeah.
Because it actually, then people lose confidence.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So I would certainly like to think that they have, they should have. So I'll certainly follow that up.
That'd be great.
Anybody else questions or comments? Okay, could I get a mover, please?
Yep, I'll second it.
On fire the comments. All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Declare that carried. I believe that's the last item on our agenda. I'm going to call the meeting closed at 7:23 p.m. Thanks everyone for your attendance.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. He spelled the same. I can't say this. It's got a